When you think of perfect families in Hollywood, few are as unexpectedly complicated and surprisingly graceful as Tom Brady's. His story isn't just about football trophies or glamorous red carpets. It's about love, heartbreak, timing, and how three people built a modern family that somehow works. But how did one of America's most famous quarterbacks end up sharing such a unique family tree with two of the most talked about women in his life? Let's break it down, the beginning of it all. Before there was Gisele Bündchen, there was Bridget Moynahan. Back in the early 2000s, Tom and Bridget were the picture of a power couple, successful, private, and admired. But just as Tom's career was skyrocketing, their relationship quietly came to an end in 2006. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Months after their split, Bridget announced she was pregnant with Tom's child. The news broke just as Tom had begun dating supermodel Gisele Bündchen, and it immediately sent tabloids into overdrive. Gisele later admitted it was a shock at first. She had just fallen in love, and suddenly, her boyfriend was having a baby with his ex. But instead of walking away, she chose to stay, and that decision would define the next chapter of all their lives. Transition. But this story wasn't about rivalry, it was about redefining what a family could look like. Section 2. A modern family in the making. In 2007, Bridget welcomed a baby boy, John Jack Moynahan. And while the situation could have easily turned bitter, all three adults made a surprising choice: peace. Tom stepped into fatherhood while balancing a new relationship, and Gisele embraced Jack as part of her life. In later interviews, she described him as a bonus child and said she felt incredibly lucky to have him. Bridget, too, chose grace over gossip, focusing on raising her son and building her career. Over time, the family blended naturally. Holidays were shared, birthdays celebrated together, and Jack grew up surrounded by love, not tension. Then, in 2009, Tom and Gisele tied the knot and soon welcomed two children of their own, Benjamin and Vivian. Their home looked picture-perfect, but fame and family never stay simple for long. Transition. Because when you live under a spotlight this bright, the world notices every move you make. Rumors, splits, and new chapters. For over a decade, Tom and Gisele looked unstoppable, a dream couple balancing sports, modeling, and parenting. But by 2022, cracks began to show. Reports suggested tension over Tom's decision to unretire from football. By October that year, they announced their divorce. Even after the split, their focus stayed on family. Both continued co-parenting Benjamin and Vivian while maintaining close ties with Jack. But fans couldn't stop speculating when Gisele was spotted spending time with jiu-jitsu instructor Joaquin Valente. Some reports even suggested they were romantically involved. Rumors Gisele never confirmed, but didn't exactly deny either. Then came whispers in 2025 that Gisele had quietly welcomed another baby. While details remain private, fans have been buzzing online about whether Joaquin could be the father. Nothing's confirmed, but the timing has certainly fueled curiosity. Transition. And through it all, Tom has stayed focused on football, fatherhood, and finding balance in life after the field. Where they stand today. Today, Tom Brady and Bridget Moynahan maintain a strong co-parenting bond for Jack, who's now a teenager and looks strikingly like his dad. Gisele, meanwhile, is carving out her new identity, still close with her kids and often seen at school events and vacations with them. Despite the twists and turns, there's no public animosity. In fact, all three seem determined to set an example of maturity in a world that thrives on drama. They've built something rare, a blended family rooted in respect. Transition, and maybe that's the real story behind all the headlines. Tom Brady's family story isn't a scandal, it's evolution. From unexpected pregnancy news to public divorces and new beginnings, this family has weathered it all with quiet resilience. It's proof that even when life doesn't follow the playbook, you can still find a way to win, just not always on the field. So, what do you think? Is this the most graceful celebrity family dynamic in Hollywood, or are there still chapters left to unfold?